Booyah! 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 Boom! What's up, guys? It's your boy OD, aka OD Sports, back with another video, guys. And today's topic that's been trending around everywhere: Tom Thibodeau from the New York Knicks has been fired from the Knicks, guys. He's been fired. It's really crazy because if you think about it, after the Luka Doncic trade, you can tell that this league is all about winning now or never. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka being traded in his prime was probably one of the most pivotal moves we ever seen in our entire lives. Like nobody who's been a franchise player for their team in their mid-20s has been traded. Like you've never seen that nowhere. Nowhere. Especially after making the finals a year before. It's something that has never happened. But now since that trade, everybody's been going and saying they don't care who you are. If you're not winning now, it's over. But let me just give you some background stats on Tom Thibodeau before we get into it. Right? Tom Thibodeau from 2020 to 2025 has made the playoffs for this team 4 out of 5 years. 4 out of 5 years. That's crazy. If you go back in time from Knicks 2000 finals appearance to 2020, the Knicks only made the playoffs 5 times and only got out of the first round 1 time. Mind you, Melo was there. Prime Melo was there. Think about that. 5 times they made the playoffs. 5 times. That's not good. In 20 years, that's not good. They had a bunch of coaches. They were going through the slums. If you see Knicks fans when they're getting interviewed during this magnificent playoff run they went through this year, they were always talking about unknown players that I don't even know myself that was like on the starting lineup. The Knicks probably hasn't been probably this irrelevant since Carmelo. Even before that, probably like the mid-90s. So to fire this culture, which I think is reasonable, we're gonna get into it for the reason. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't think he should have got fired. Like before coming into this season, I thought that Tom Thibodeau had to give this Knicks team at least the Eastern Conference Finals. Last year was an excuse. A lot of players were hurt. So I understand that. I understand why they kept him. But this year he brought him to a good spot. Now the only thing I don't like about Tom Thibodeau is his coaching style. I don't like him forcing all the starters to have all those type of minutes. Like Miles Bridges, I get it, he's a defensive good player. Yes, you traded all those picks, like 5 first round picks or something, for 5 first round picks for him. He shouldn't be playing 51 minutes. Like this team was getting tired out, and then this team was low key still in the old style that's getting washed away, which is hairball. So only Karl Anthony Towns, in my opinion, and Brunson was really producing for this team. OG, which is OG Anunoby, had iffy games here and there, but what does that mean? That don't mean nothing. Josh Hart. Josh Hart is really like a 6'4" center. He's gonna get you probably a double. 10 points. A few clutch layups and a lot of good rebounds a game. But I don't. Their lineup wasn't good enough, and then they finally utilized their bench game 5 and 6 when they were down 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't help. It doesn't help. And plus, game 6, Indiana Pacers scorched them. Especially going into the fourth quarter, they scorched them. I remember I was 50. It was 54 to 58 at halftime. OG made a buzzer beater. So guess what? I'm thinking they still got a chance. They lost the game by 20. Like this, no, the Pacers was too experienced. They were ready to make this. I told everybody this is Pacers year. I knew since last year when they made the in-season cup against the Lakers. I said, yo, this Pacers team is different. This is the most different team I've ever seen. Like the Pacers have been different this whole year. I told you guys this. But let's get into more of the work now. Coach Thibbs, he's been coaching, had his first head coaching job when he was with Prime D Rose, and they went 62-20, and D Rose became the youngest MVP ever. Think about that, and they made it all the way to the conference finals that year, but lost to the late great old team, the 2011 Heat. Even though the Heat did lose to Mavericks that year, still think about it. Tibbs had the youngest MVP, and he did make it to the conference finals in his first real head coaching job. Now, in longevity, he's 0-2 in conference final games, which is only the first time in 2010. And we're back. I got a phone call for some reason, but yeah, his first time in 2010, and then now recently, so he's 0-2 in conference finals. But he has made a lot of playoff appearances throughout the years. He has coached Bulls, Wolves, the Knicks. Yeah, the Bulls, Wolves, and the Knicks, and his win-loss ratio is 578 games, won to 420 loss ratio, which is 5.78, which is not bad for his 13-year tenure, 15-year tenure, which is not bad. Even before that, he was an assistant head coach for a lot of teams. for a lot of teams, which is he first started off with the Wolves, the Spurs, 76ers, the Rockets, and Boston Celtics. And by the way, in 2007, he won that championship as an assistant head coach with the Boston Celtics. So he does have a ring, but just not for a head coaching job position. He was the assistant coach. He was second in line to Doc Rivers. So he's pretty all right, man. He's pretty all right. In the playoffs, as a head coach, he's 48 and 55, which is not bad. Like Tibbs on paper is a really good head coach that can get a job at any moment, and probably in the top D1 level for college and NBA teams that are looking for a head coach. I can't believe that he got fired low key. You just say his record is like dang, and then he had a assistant head coach position with the Knicks because with the Knicks this is his second tenure. He was first with the Knicks in 1996 to 2003. So he did a lot. He did a lot, honestly. Like what I mean. And plus, he started in 1984 with Salem State. His record was 9-17 and 4-8 in conference, which is kind of mediocre. But you got to start somewhere, right? So I think Tibbs, he's a respectable head coach. He's he's really respected. He turns a lot of teams around. And he's really good in winning close possession games too. Really good in that. Tibbs is really doing his thing. But I feel bad for Tibbs. But Tibbs, this is not the end of the world for you. You're still a phenomenal person, a good head coach. You sacrifice a lot for your players. So I hope everything turns around. You are 67 years old, though. You could ride into the sunset and just say, I did my thing. But who knows? Because some people with passion for sports and like head coaching, they don't care. They'll still ride till the wheels fall off. Now, let's talk about the NBA Finals. Now, you see how quiet this room is? That's New York right now. That's Madison Square Garden. I told y'all boys that the Pacers were going to win. I told y'all. I told y'all. I said, the Pacers are going to win this series. They didn't win in 5. They won in 6. So, at the same time, I told y'all what it was going to be. I knew the Knicks weren't ready. They wasn't ready for the lights. I knew Pacers lost last year to the Celtics, right? So, since he lost to the Celtics, it's whatever, They lost to the Celtics last year. They weren't really ready for them. The Celtics was just too much for them. But now they came back too experienced and I'm telling you, I knew it. That 11 to 12 man rotation they have is just beautiful. Wow. They're really a whole complete. I truly think that OKC and Pacers really mesh well. They really mesh really well. Now, do I know who's going to guard Chet and Harveston? Dang, because they only got Miles Turner, and the next big man is kind of Siakam. And Siakam was guarding Cat this next series a lot, but giving him work, but getting hit. And one thing about Cat was having his way in the paint this series. I'll give Cat that. He was aggressive this whole series. He was having his way. Shout out to Cat. He was having his way. For real, he was just barging in there. Has Siakam go out the game. You know what I'm saying? They had some things, but I'm gonna just say the big two for Pacers. Siakam this series averaged 24 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. You know what I'm saying? That's what he won Eastern Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals MVP. That's good. He deserves it, low key. He didn't go under 50 points a game. For that East series, he was balling. He was balling, He really balled out. You know what I'm saying? He really balled out. Halliburton balled out too, but he did have a game where he had only 8 points. And 8 points don't win you a basketball game. That's when the Knicks finally turned it around, right? But 8 points doesn't win you a game. You know what I'm saying? So since that one little slump game, that's why they gave it to Siakam, because Siakam has been consistent through the whole playoffs. Dropping double-digit points. He never went single digits in not one game. Not one game. Halliburton is still averaging 18.8, 9.4 rebounds, and 5.7 assists. That's great. You know what I'm saying? That's really great. Honestly. 1-2 punch. They really 1-1. That team's very unselfish. So they really a 1-1 punch, you know what I mean? That's who the Thunder really had to look at, you know what I'm saying? They really had to look at that. Now, if we go to OKC side, OKC is 29-1 against Eastern Conference teams this whole entire year. They really I don't know who they lost to. I gotta look that up. I don't know who they lost to that one game, but wow, 29-1. That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. SGA this whole playoffs have been averaging 29.8, 6.9 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. That's really good. Jada right behind him, 20.4, 5.8 boards, and 5.8 assists. That's not bad. Then you got the big three. You got Chet. Chet getting 16.4 rebounds, 16.4 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game. You know what I'm saying? That's the big three I'm really worried about for from for OKC that the Pacers really need to lock in on. You know, you got Lou Dort. That's really like a small center too. He doesn't get too many points per game, but you know he makes an impact defensively. And then you got Harveston, who's another big body. You know, who's gonna be the starting five for what's the name for for not OKC for the Pacers? Who's gonna be that? You know, because I'm thinking right now, Siakam, Hallie, Miles Turner, it might be Nembhard. Nembhard's only 6'4", but might be Nembhard, Shepard, Walker. They got a lot of players. TJ O'Connell. They have a lot of players, man. I'm telling you right now, bro. They need to put James Johnson in the game. They need a Draymond out there. Yo, he's the Draymond for that team. I'm telling you right now. He's the Draymond for that team. He's going to make an impact. But as you guys can see, this is going to be a great finals. Believe it or not. I said, who am I really leaning towards? That's a good question. Because I can see OKC taking the crown. You know what I'm saying? They went 16, 68, and 14 this year. Like, they've really been balling. But just Halliburton, like, you just can never count this team out. You can never count this team out. Now, I see this series going, like, to 6 games, not a full 7-game series. And I say whoever wins game 4 tells me who's going to win the series. Right there. Whoever wins game 4 is going to win the series. I'm telling you right now. Whoever wins game 4. It could be 2-1, 2-1, 1-2, or you don't know what's gonna happen. It's crazy. Whoever wins game 4 is gonna go to the series, or game 3. That's really who gonna tell me who won the series. I don't see the series going 7 games. Now, if it does, that's crazy. I wouldn't expect it. That's not my take. But you know, whoever wins game 3 and 4 will win the series. I'm telling you right now. And if it's split in between, I'll make another take for my final decision. But you know, it's a hard decision right now. But we gonna see. But guys, it's your boy OD, aka OD Sports. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you for my new subscribers who subscribe, guys. It's only getting bigger. You know, it's only getting bigger. And the NFL season's only 2 months away, guys. 2 months. That's when we're really gonna get sturdy. I'm telling you guys, bro. I love you guys. Peace. I'm out.